up, everybody? I'm Sal Reggie. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yo,
Always
Sal, before we get
record.
going, you didn't comment on my virtual background, dude. I'm a little hurt.
You haven't commented on my virtual shades right now. Look at these dope shades I'm rocking.
Wait, hold up. How can you call me on not commenting on your shades when I said you haven't commented on mine first?
Because I don't really mind. I'm just pointing out your hypocrisy.
Well, I like your virtual shades. I would do that if I knew how to do it. So
Reggie had me waiting, so I was trying to play.
Okay, well, for the people who are listening, if you watch our video feed on YouTube, you'll see that Sal currently has on virtual shades, which actually look pretty cool. And I haven't
just changed them.
Oh, and he just changed them up just like that because it's virtual.
Now I look like I got Max Headroom shades.
Yeah. Wait, is that the? Oh yeah, it's the
Yeah. The drink Pepsi guy or whatever
from the 80s. Wow, you went way back on that one.
Yeah. He was Back to the Future. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Well, real quick before we get into it, this week, folks, we welcome you back to Spitballin. Today, we're going to talk about Sal's encounter with a San Francisco-based comic when he was up here recently. We'll talk a little bit about the Olympics. We have our Super Bowl predictions, and we may tackle this whole issue with Penn State and their transgender swimmer who transitioned from a man to a woman. So,
well, what's up with this table of contents we're doing now? Is this
well, it's just so
you
that
had one person gave you always say like people, but when you had this one person who said something and now you do table of contents.
Well, it's just
I'm just curious.
Okay, all I'm saying is, all right, for the people who are listening, since you want to put our business out there, I have been consulting with people,
that sounds plural.
Just trying to get an idea of, I'm just trying it out.
Like, that's good though. We need
I'm just trying it out. Because it gives people an opportunity to know what to look forward to, right? They start off the whole thing and maybe somewhere at the beginning they hear that and they go, oh, okay, I want to hear their take on this, right? And so they hang out to the end. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
Okay,
I'm just trying it out, bro.
But let me ask you this: like when I post it, I kind of do the table of contents.
You do. But I think also us having like if we have like a list that keeps us on track, because you and I we tend to go on our tangents and
what did you say? Someone said it just sounds like it's just us talking, ignoring everybody else.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like sometimes the podcast is just for you and I, right? Like,
I mean, that's why it kind of is, but I mean that's why I like Reg, because we could just go with anything. Like we'll flow and we bounce off each other well, and it's fun and we enjoy each other's company. So yeah, and sometimes it gets like that. But to me, that's like entertainment to people. Like, hey, you were privileged to be part of this fly on the wall, what these two fools talk about.
I agree. I think it's cool, but then I think it also can be a little frustrating for the person who is like, go back to the thing you were talking about, right? Or like, or like you guys stayed on this tangent way too long. Like,
we tangent a lot, huh? Okay, I mean, I'm a good tangenter. I love to tangent.
Yeah,
but then people get pissed because then people forget what originally was going on because I just interrupt all the time and intercede with stuff. All right, well, I already interrupted your table of contents. So what did we have? We had okay, well,
hold up real quick. I think that we may need to change our podcast name from Spitballin to Tangent, the Tangent Podcast.
That'd be
I'm
fun.
up here sweating like a black pastor in Alabama. Hey, Tangent. Oh, Lord, it's good to see you.
But to me, that's like a great character you put it on. This is a bit that you'd usually pay $15 to $28 for to see at a comedy club.
That
so
is
you're
true.
Getting that shit for
that is true. It's like, It's good to be here on a early Sunday morning. No, actually, what's today? Friday. It's good to be here early Friday morning with my man Sal Kalani.
Well,
we're gonna talk about a few things today. We're gonna get into some things today.
Well,
we're gonna let the spirit guide us to the promised land. So
testify.
The doors of the podcast are open. The doors of the podcast.
Yeah, you should do the table of contents as the pastor every week. So do the table. Okay, here we go. Now I'll be into it. Right,
no, we'll save it for next week.
So wait, what's your pastor's name?
We'll save it for next week.
No, I want one right now. It's so good. So what's your pastor's name? We'll call it. Would you need a name?
My pastor.
A character.
I grew
like
up
how Pryor did Mudbone. This is your Mudbone.
Oh, okay. What should I call him? I don't know. You give me a name. You come up with one.
I don't know what's like a common name of a Southern black pastor.
Well, I mean, I grew up with Pastor Smith, but that's too easy.
That's too no. Like Jackson or Pastor Jack, Pastor.
Hold on. Are you saying that Smith is too bland? It's not urban enough?
Well, it's definitely very white. I think of a bunch of Mormons when I hear Smith. But then Jackson, I think Jackson, Mississippi, Michael Jackson. But Jackson, Reverend Jackson. Well, no, that's Jesse Jackson. Can't do that.
Jesse Jackson. So.
No, Pastor. I like it with Pastor.
Yeah, you got to go. How about we go Pastor Cutwater or like Pastor Coolidge. Coolidge. That might not be bad.
That's not bad. There's Calvin Coolidge.
Atwater. What about Pastor Atwater? I don't know why water keeps popping up. Maybe it's because of the background.
Pastor Atwater. That's not bad. I mean, that's not
bad. How about Pastor Drinkwater? With something silly.
No. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll come back to it. All I know is I'm sweating like I'm sweating like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I tell you. Well, all
right.
Okay.
So Pastor Atwater.
Pastor Atwater.
It doesn't sound Southern enough to me.
It doesn't sound Southern enough
because I got Atwater Village right next to my home.
Okay. How about this, Pastor?
Something Southern. That's hipster. See, everybody is in this.
How about
podcast?
Pastor Johnson? Pastor Johnson.
See, like the Johnsons, the Jacksons, that always works.
The Jays, the Johnson, Jackson, Pastor Buford.
That sounds too hillbilly.
That sounds too hillbilly. Pastor Gitlow.
I'm with Pastor Johnson. It just sounds like you're not trying hard enough.
Okay. All right. Pastor
Garrett.
Garrett don't really pop. Yeah, Garrett don't. Hey, there's nothing exciting about Pastor. And now coming to the pulpit, Pastor Garrett. You just feel like he's gonna come up and just read the announcements.
Pastor Birmingham.
Nah, he can't be the whole city. Pastor Bama.
Pastor Bama.
Pastor Bama.
Cool.
Pastor
Pastor Bama. All right,
like Pastor Bama. Okay.
See, folks, you got a free insider look of breaking down a bit.
Yeah, that was literally what was that, brainstorming, like out loud brainstorming.
But I like Pastor Bama because it represents your roots and it's a nice way. But see, me saying that city brought us to geography, which brought you to the state. And it sounds better when you shorten it too.
Okay. And so you're gonna edit all this at the beginning, right?
Nah, man, this is gold. This is free gold. We're just giving away jewels. All right, Pastor Bama, how you doing this morning? Could you give us our table of contents for today?
I can give me a moment to gather myself as we get ready to start this gracious podcast this morning. I'm gonna give you the table of contents of what to expect in today's episode. First, we're going to start off with Sal Kalani and his visit to San Francisco and an encounter with a local comedian. And from there, we're going to move on to another topic where we talk about possibly the Olympics. Talk about where it's at, what it's doing, and what's going on, and how come don't nobody know about it.
China.
We also, from there, we're going to move on down to the Penn State women's team, where a transgender woman is breaking all the records. She went from number 462 as a man to number 1 as a woman. She is running through the competition like they made of wet toilet paper.
You
You
wet toilet paper. There was another one. Oh, and here we go, Pastor. How we closing out? Big game coming up, Pastor Bama.
We're gonna, and last, we're gonna end on something that Sal loves to talk about. No matter what team I bring up, no matter what player I bring up, no matter what organization, you always talk about that one that ain't made it, the one that's not there, the one that ain't even present, the one that ain't nobody seen.
Where they at?
He talk about them Browns, them Cleveland Browns, them doo-doo Browns.
There it is.
Talk about our Super Bowl prediction, folks.
Thank you, Pastor.
You're very
Until
welcome.
next week.
I'll see you next week, Sal Kalani. May God keep you in his good graces.
Nice, dude. You do some good character work there, Reg.
Thank you. It was fun.
Did you get any feedback from the Red Fox? Because that could have been a little controversial clip we put. But part of my favorite was your impression of Red Fox. You did really well.
Thank you.
The way you're like, look at everyone in here. Look around. Like you just did it so well.
Thank you, man. I went back and I watched it, and I missed one part.
Yeah, because he dropped it twice. I didn't realize he dropped it twice. The way you did it was like punch real quick,
right.
But in the actual thing, he which it kind of takes away from it, I feel like, because he says it already.
Well, no, he didn't say it the first time. I thought he did. The first time he goes, you ever arrest any he said, you ever arrest any people, like black people?
Or white? No, you ever arrest any white people? He's like, yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah, he said, no, you arrest any black? He said, you ever arrest any white people? He said, yeah, I can't tell. He said, look at all these. Oh, he did say, look at all these niggas in here.
Yeah.
Right? Look at all these niggas. And then he says it
again to deliver the Tarzan joke.
Right. That's why I think he messed up. They could have just dropped it. Because he goes,
right.
You ever arrest any white people?
Right.
I'm like, yeah. He goes, I can't tell. Look at all these niggas in here. Laugh point. And then he goes, it's enough niggas in here to make a Tarzan movie.
The way I love just the way you say that. Tarzan. Like the way it's said. That's how he says it. And it just makes it hit.
Oh, man. Well, I put like this, man. That clip, I guess me dropping the N-bomb was enough for everyone to be like.
Well, did it get a lot of love?
Yeah, it got a lot of love, at least on my profile.
Oh, dude, it's funny, man. That was a funny show. That was a funny bit. And because I saw you, DJ Pooh put that up. And that was the guy that's one on Instagram. And that's the guy who co-wrote Friday with Ice Cube.
That's right. He was the one that was like, my grandmama gave me that chain.
Yeah. And then he's riding away at the end.
Red. Yeah. Right. All right, man. So let's get to it. So what is the story about San Francisco?
All right. So this is kind of funny. It's just a sign of the times. I was up in San Francisco and doing some shows, and sometimes some comics you came up with come out to the show, which is always cool to see, right? But Absolutely. The masks makes everything different, man. So this white dude in an afro, another froey head, white kid, right dude with the mask on comes up to me. And I'm like, I was like, it's Arthur Gauss. We came up with him. And I was like, what's up, Arthur? Good to see you, man. He's like, yeah, man, good to see you, Sal. And then like later I'm hawking shit and he's leaving after the show. And I'm like, yo, Arthur, good to see you again, man. I do a show in LA if you ever want to get on. And he like pulls his mask down and goes, hey, it's Nick. And I was like, oh, Nick Stargu, DJ Real, right? And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. And I was calling him Arthur. He didn't say anything earlier, but it was very, quick interaction.
Wait, he let you call him Nick? He let you call him Arthur the whole night? And then
not the whole night. I only saw him like twice, just quick interactions. You're in the club and there's a show going on. So like, but yeah. And I was like, the hell, dude? I'm like, I couldn't tell. You get the damn, the hair and the mask on,
Right.
And so then the next night, it's Saturday, I'm doing the show, and dude comes up to me with the fro and the mask, and I just go up to him like, oh, hey, what's up, Nick? Just letting him know. And he pulls out his mask. He's like, dude, it's fucking Arthur. I might not fucking DJ real. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Dude, that is awesome. That is awesome.
It's insane. It's insane. I haven't seen two of these guys in like 5 years. I did see them both within the night of each other.
Dude, did they prank you?
Them.
Did they prank you? Did they
no,
prank you?
I could have. It was so funny.
Did Nick call Arthur and say, yo, go to the club with your mask on and say hi to Sal?
I will say Arthur was way more insulted that I called him Nick than Nick was that I called him Arthur. Just throwing it out there. I don't know what that means, but it was funny though, because I remember the first night I was like, why is Arthur being so nice to me? And I'm like, oh, it's Nick. That's why. Nick.
Why is Arthur not nice to you? Has Arthur not traditionally been nice to you?
Arthur's cool, but Nick's a nicer guy. But then
that's funny.
But it was funny. I just and like Destiny was sitting there and she saw it because I told her about it the night before. I got it wrong, and then she saw the guy come up to me. I'm like, "What's up, Nick?" And I definitely put that accent on it to let him know.
Yeah, you
and
nailed
he goes,
it.
The fuck, it's Arthur.
I love that. The fuck? I love that part. The fuck is Arthur? I'm not DJ Real.
Yeah. That's right. You didn't throw that tag in it.
That sounds like Real. Dude, that sounds like someone who's been called the wrong person way too many times. Right? Which brings me to this. So my boy AJ, we haven't talked about this, but my boy AJ, he and I, we've made amends and everything is cool, right? We're talking again. He wasn't talking to me for a while. And I don't even know if people knew this because I never said his name before, but I just did now. But
yeah, you kind of mentioned it, I thought.
Okay, well, we're cool now. And he sent out this group chat to all these former players about the alumni game coming up July 16th and 17th at St. Mary's. So anyone who's out there listening, SMC alumni game will be, alumni weekend is July 16th and 17th. A lot of guys plan on coming back. I may show up. I'm not going to play. I'm not trying to pull a hamstring or twist an ankle or tear ACL. It's like, it ain't that serious. But he sent out this group chat, and apparently he had an old number for this guy named Daryl Daniels. And whoever has the number now responded to the chat. I mean, they responded. When I say they responded with frustration, anger, and venom, they were like, I'm not him. Remove this number from your chat. Right?
Because there's probably how many people were messaging back. He probably got a shit ton of messages.
Oh, dude, he got like hundreds. He got hundreds. Right? So hold on. Let me see.
I'd be kind of salty too. You guys kind of crossed the line there.
Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Where's he at?
I mean, how many dudes is that on the team? Like 30, 20, 15?
I don't know. All I know is that this dude was like, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, hold on. No, that's a new chat. Hold on 1 second. Here it is. So this guy goes, I put like this, that you've been called, because he said, here it is. He goes, OMG, please remove this number from your phone and this chat. I'm guessing it's under Daryl Daniels, who no longer has this number. Please remove or start a new text group, right? And then AJ responds. AJ goes, will do. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now, this is the part that's funny because AJ goes, if you have a new number for him, please forward. This guy goes, I don't know him or have his number. I just got a new number and have been fielding his calls for too long now. Please, in capital letters, remove me and delete. And I should say the number so everyone else who's listening can text this dude.
Everybody can text this guy. Well, no, hold on, man. I don't think this guy's being too angry. He's being pretty reasonable.
Wait, hold on, man. Let me just finish reading it in an angry tone. All right. He goes, I mean, it's obviously in text, so there's no tone. So I'm adding tone. You're adding a
little. I think okay, go on. You're a little biased, but go ahead.
I'm adding tone, and the tone is, please remove me from the please remove me and delete this number 949-922.
Hey, you can't do that.
Blah blah blah. Okay. From your phone book, please. Right. And that was it. That was the last.
Was all those in caps? The pleases?
No, they were just regular. But
I think you're overblown it. I think the guy's being reasonable. He's getting hundreds of texts. This guy who had it before is obviously a popular person, and that's funny that he's like, I've been getting this too long now.
He's like, people calling me
at a huge. I mean, you've put me on some of group text with probably like 5 people, and it's annoying. So I can't imagine he doesn't even know these people.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
But what's telling
funny
to me is this: there are probably, no joke, there were 19 people in this chat, right?
Wow, okay.
And these are all guys, for the most part, that know and played with Daryl Daniels, right?
None of y'all have his number.
One guy has his number, right? And he said earlier, he goes, "Oh, I have his number," right? The thing for me is this: hey, look, hey man, obviously Daryl Daniels does not want to be in this chat group. He does not want to be anybody's friend
none
anymore.
Of y'all 18 people doesn't have his number.
Dude, he's seriously like, I don't want to be friends with any of you guys anymore, right? and now he's gonna be dragged into this, which is gonna force him to have to get a new number.
That's
right?
funny.
Right?
That's funny. I mean, I've been pretty fortunate. I've had the same number for like 20 years.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. I've had the same number from the beginning.
Yeah, me too. Same phone. Like then you always got that one friend. Like I got that one friend's numbers always changing.
I know, what the hell is that about? Hey man, I got a new number. You might used to have a joke about that, right?
It's like, again?
Yeah, it's like, yo, man, I got a new number. Really? Again? Why? Man, Sprint be tripping. I'm going to Verizon, dog. Right? Like, get over to Verizon. Like, yo, man, what happened to Verizon? Like, yo, man, they on that same bullshit Sprint on. Talking about they want me to pay the bill. So I'm on T-Mobile now, dog. It's like, dude, what the hell? Why don't you just go get a pager, bro? Go get a pager and go back. So yeah, man, that was pretty funny. My man was, but he was yelling some of that text. I don't know him.
Well, that is kind of funny. Like, you have his number. Like, man, who am I, the phone book agent? No, I don't have his fucking number. How the hell am I supposed to have his number?
Yeah, exactly. That joke was funny, but so yeah, man. Well, I think it's pretty funny that 2 nights in a row you mistook a person for the wrong person.
So weird.
And they coincidentally came back-to-back nights.
So weird. It was the weirdest thing.
And I love the fact that Arthur Gauss was like, the fuck?
Nah, he might not.
I'm not DJ Real.
It's like he did say, I'm not DJ Real.
which
means, like, man, I haven't seen this dude forever. Oh, yeah,
no, but funny. You understand, Sal, that's not about you. That's about him walking into other rooms and then with the mask on, people going, yo, Nick, what's up? And he goes, it's fucking Arthur. Right? He's like, how come this guy's more popular than me, that everywhere I go, they think I'm him, right? But Arthur came back to comedy. He went on hiatus for a long time. And,
is that what happened?
Yeah, he came back in the last few years.
Okay.
And so, he's reestablishing his name and, his presence in the Bay. So he's doing his thing.
So yeah, he's got to put a stamp down when he mistake his name.
Yeah. I just love that reaction though. You're like, Nick. And you just see this shit right here. Like, the fuck? I'm not.
I might have embellished that part, but yeah. It was. I was like, this is a bizarro world, man. Yeah, that happens. Man. You can't. It's hard to recognize people now.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the chances? I love the mask personally. Like now that they're here, honestly, I'll be happy wearing the mask forever.
I mean, it definitely, like, other stuff like colds and stuff you're protected from way more. I feel you. It sucks if I feel like wearing it for a long time. Where it sucks because the moisture might build up and stuff, and that's where it's annoying. You know what I mean? But
I have noticed
it's not too bad.
It's not too bad, but I've noticed people who break out around their nose.
I've had that maskne.
Is that what that's called? Maskne?
Yeah, maskne, like acne. But no, I've had it a couple of times, but mainly is when I'm wearing it too long, like after a flight or something like that. You know?
Okay.
What I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I haven't experienced maskne yet. So, all right, man. So, so what we got next? We got the Olympics.
I don't know what we got, Rev. Oh, the Olympics. Oh yeah, here I could do my filter here. I'll do my little Olympics.
So the Olympics started today, folks, in China.
They actually started last night.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny because today they already did it this morning, but they'll air it tonight, the opening ceremony.
Okay. Well, it's in China. So So wait, let
All
me
right.
see. What is this though? This is the winter? No, it's the no,
This
it's
is
the Winter
winter,
Olympics.
man.
Yeah, the Winter Olympics. So it can't be the Summer Olympics. That's a silly question.
Yeah, that just happened. And this is very rare that they're both this close to each other, but of course it got put off because of COVID one year in
Right.
the summer. So then this picked up, and I mean, I love it. It's once every 4 years you can see all these athletes.
Right.
And I was last night at 1 a.m. or midnight. I was watching the mogul skiers.
The
And
mo
the
what?
moguls.
The
So
moguls
moguls are the little
Wait, is
humps
this Harry
of
Potter talking about the
snow.
muggles?
Yeah, I thought that too. But the moguls are those little humps of snow, and then they hit them like this, boop, 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 with their legs,
Yeah.
and they come down the thing. So they're coming down this mountain so fast that when they take off their glasses, which I'll do right now because it's kind of annoying, but when they take off their glasses, their face is red. And and you can see the white here because the goggles are protecting it, but it just shows how cold it is
The
up in that
cold.
mountain.
Okay.
And you're coming down that mountain and that wind is hitting you and they're flying down. Like it's just a minute run, if that, but it's crazy.
So it's instead of a tan line, it's like a freeze line or something.
It's like a freeze line. Yeah,
like
it's
a freeze
true.
line.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like the mogul, like, dude, you're just ankles are just going hill to hill, right? And then you do 2 jumps in it. And they had like these kids who grew up in Utah together, and they're in the Olympics for the first time. Both of them, these American kids, and they're like they have video of them when they're 9, like wanting to be mogul skiers, and just like the hell, dude.
Wow, that's impressive, man. That's impressive.
I mean,
I'm
it's
always
also
fascinated.
winter
I'm
sports,
always
so
fascinated.
they're more money. You need more
Right.
money to come up in the winter.
Well, yeah,
sports.
absolutely. I mean, like, skiing is expensive, right? The gear, the
gear.
lift tickets, and the access. So, but I'm always fascinated by people who know what they wanted, who knew what they wanted to do at a very young age, right? And then did it, like stuck with it. I mean, I wanted to be a cartoonist at one point. I wanted to be an engineer at one point. I wanted to be an architect at one point. Like, I wanted to be a physical therapist at one point. I still want to be a physical therapist. Okay. But I'm just saying that the idea of like knowing what you want to do at 9, to have 2 people know what they want to do at 9 and then accomplish that
friends
goal.
And then they get up in it together. And you grow up in like Utah, that's a big thing in the mountains, and,
right?
And
they're like, you got to find some way to get out of Utah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And then what ice skating was big. Last night was the pairs where and that's kind of a trip when the guy just launches a girl in the air. That's another thing I was worried about, the ankles. I'm like, you come landing on a blade on one foot after being thrown in the air.
Yeah,
it is crazy, man. Like
it is, and that's why they're in the Olympics too.
The Chinese kicked ass last night. They were unstoppable. They look pretty good. But I don't know. I think it's like a team thing. They're not giving out medals yet.
Okay. What else is interesting to me is your love for the Olympics.
Well, you appreciate, you see these people have done it their whole life, been training for this moment. So you see that, and you experience that, and then you see whole countries get behind, and it's very a proud thing. You know what I mean? So there's and then every time I do it, I enjoy it. Like, I've been getting into it for a while, and every time I watch it, I was like, oh, if you're gonna do it, just get all into it. It's only 2 weeks, it goes away, and then it's another 4 years. And it's stuff like you've never seen. Like, even today they're doing this explaining curling, and because that was on last night too, but like it's not just straight ice. There's like a lot of pebbles and stuff on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one where they have to
they said that doesn't necessarily speed it up, but that heats up the ice, so it'll keep the distance going, so it'll go farther.
Right.
And I mean, but it's also funny, like, how is this a sport? But it's just the funny thing about the Winter Games is sometimes it's like, because there's like a fourth of the countries in the Winter Games, a third, as opposed to the summer. Because summer you could have all of Africa, you could have all these like South America countries participate. Winter Games, it's not so much, you know what I mean? And the money, but they have different shoes in the curling. One, they got like Teflon on them, so one could slide and one doesn't. It's a weird thing, man. It's but it's interesting. But they're explaining that The Rock the rock as they throw. That's what it's called, the rock.
Oh, is that what it's called? The big round thing
The
that
big
slides
metal,
down?
yeah, the big stone.
Okay, it's called the rock that's sliding across ice. And then they have to clear the path so that it can go further.
Yeah,
Okay.
snowboarding kicks off tonight. It's Shaun White is 35. He's still going at it. I mean, he started in 2002 at the Salt Lake City Games when they first brought snowboarding to the Olympics.
Okay.
Because every Olympics, you get the host nation gets to introduce a new sport.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know what this year's is.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's cool. You're like a Winter Olympics expert.
I know a little bit. I know a little bit. Moguling, it started officially in 1992 Olympic Games, which I believe was, I'm not sure where that one was. Well, it might have been France. One was in France, and then the next one was in Lillehammer, which I think is Norway. That's because that was famous in '94 because that's when Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan thing happened.
So that's when Tanya Harding. I mean, that's when Nancy Kerrigan got Tanya Harding got her. Yeah, she got
people she knew. Did you see the movie I, Tanya?
I did. It was
great.
Good. It was really good.
I love it. The soundtrack's great. But yeah, that's part of the reason why she was able to do those Olympics was because there was only 2 years apart. And then that's when they switched it. So then, because, it used to suck in the 80s and stuff. It was only Olympics every 4 years. You got the summer and the winter in the same year. But then you had no Olympics for 4 years.
Right.
So they're like, let's alternate that. But yeah.
Okay.
Big fan, buddy. Big fan. So yeah.
No, I appreciate it, man. No, I appreciate it. I do, because it gives me another insight. I don't really follow the Olympics like that. It's one of those things where if it's on and I see it, I will stop and watch it. And whenever I watch it, I do enjoy it, right? Because personally, you always tease me about being a front runner or going for the teams that always do well, right? Like the Patriots or the Chicago Bulls, right? So, but the thing is, the thing about that whole thing is that what I do love is I enjoy watching people excel on a high level, right? Like I like seeing the best of the best do the best and do it continuously, consistently for a long period of time. So the Olympics is very
competitive too.
Yeah.
It's like, especially in the running, how close they are.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love seeing people compete at a high level consistently, right? Like I love seeing records being broken. I love to see the concentration, the focus. Like there's just that competitiveness of sports in general. And competing against each other that just really appeals to me. So you would think that I would be more drawn to the Olympics based on that. And with that being said, like I said, I don't seek it out, but when I see it, I always stop and watch and enjoy it. Right.
Yeah.
And I also kind of look at the Olympics too. Like I'm kind of amazed by the pride that people have for their countries. I know it's going to sound crazy, but in other countries, I mean, it's like, it is literally like they are there representing their countries. Whereas for us over here, we have NBA players who've competed and gotten gold medals and don't feel as satisfied as they would if they got an NBA championship, right?
But see, over there, that's all there is, really.
Well,
this
exactly.
is the biggest moment to get recognition for most countries.
Absolutely, 100%. It's almost the same thing too, where it's like when I look at countries that have one religion, an entire country has one religion, where everyone adheres or believes the same thing. It's the same thing with the pride in certain parts of the world. Was like, this is our national team. This is the most important thing ever. Over here, we got, how many teams we got? Right? It's like, right. So
that's true. We always have the best of the best, but yeah, they're all professional. That's the other thing, though. A lot of times the amateurs are pretty cool to see the because everyone here, they all get along with each other so much because they all know they're just all representing the country, doing the best they can, and they've just been focusing on the sport.
Yeah. And hold it though, this is the other one too, which I think is funny, not funny but interesting. Obviously, these people competing are amateurs and they're representing their country, and so there's this idea of like, if I win the gold, my country is better than your country, right? Right. So that's like them like deciding like, we're the best, I'm the best of the country in the world or whatever. But even with that being said, in the United States, we're like, yeah, okay, you won that, but we're still the best at everything. Right. So it's almost like I feel like the whole world is competing for second place.
Well, not healthcare. We're not the best at that.
No, we're not. Or education, healthcare, education, right? What else? Whatever else, healthcare, education. That's two. We're not number one in either of those. So two most important things.
No, that's true. They definitely it means a lot to a lot of different spots. But yeah, I forgot. I had something else I was gonna say, but oh well.
The rest of the world is competing for number 2, second place. Right. It's like, oh, you're the first and second place. Awesome. All right. So what was the other one you want to get to? You got something you want to say about the Olympics real quick before we get on?
No, that was about it. We'll see. I'll have more next week because they're just starting. So we'll see what's up with it.
Okay, so let's move on to
wants to get serious now. Reg wants to get into controversial waters.
No, we don't have to get too deep. I've thought about it because I've had a couple conversations with a friend of mine about whether it's fair, whether it's not fair, things of that nature. And should this friend of mine was proposing that they should have separate records, right? He's like, they should have the men's record, the women's record, and then, the transgender record.
There's not enough athletes though for that.
It's not enough athletes. And wouldn't that be considered separate but equal, right? Because the idea of being transgender, the idea is that they are what they've become, or they are women or they are men, right? So to have you're going to create a third sex, a third category, and then who are they competing against? Just each other? Or he was like, well, no, they were like, in this case, she's competing with the women, but if she wins, then she has the fastest record in essence, what he was trying to say is that they would put an asterisk by her name, right? And be like, oh, this person was transgendered and competed as a man for a long time and then transitioned to a woman. And then, so
won these records. Us the story here. So
there's a woman, there's a person a woman on the University of Penn State swim team who transitioned from a man 2 years ago, who's been on hormone therapy for 2 years and swimming. And when this person was a man,
Lia Thomas.
Lia Thomas. When this person was a man, they were ranked number 462 in the world. And now that they've transitioned and are competing as a woman, they're ranked number 1 in the world. And it just came out of this article today that I saw was there are 16 women on the swim team who've written a letter basically saying that she has an unfair advantage based on her biology, right? Her size, muscle mass, and things of that nature. So the NCAA says that in the 22-23 season, they will start testing for testosterone levels, which I think personally, in regards to this, men, biologically have more testosterone than women. So that means we have more muscle mass. And I believe if a person is transitioning, then if they're going to transition from a man to a woman and compete, then they have, I just think they should be tested to make sure that their levels are even with their counterparts, right? Yeah. Just based on sheer biology.
And I mean, and especially at this kind of competitive level, that stuff is so close within milliseconds that any advantage is an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that jump to go from 462 to number 1, it I could see. But I don't. You don't want us to bring in any trans hate, which is such a common thing now. And I think it's funny. I felt like you and I kind of broke it down. And like everyone when the beef with Chappelle was out, and then and J.K. Rowling, and the thing that I felt we came across in our discussion was what the mistake I feel they're making is when they say gender is a fact, but at birth you might say that physically, but mentally we don't know, and we don't. Mentally and anyone we know who's been trans or who a lot of people they've known since they were young. And so there's something there. And that's why when Chappelle and J.K. Rowling say what they say, it's almost like apples and oranges. You know what I mean? I feel it's like an unfair comparison.
Absolutely.
But for this is the biology. So this is
the biology. And like I said with Chappelle, I was like, he was like you just said, when you're born with a gender, then that's what it is, but it doesn't take into account how someone feels. And I don't think that you can ever tell someone how they feel. Right. And then you look at what people go through, the hormone therapy, just everything that they do to change their bodies.
If you're willing to want to do all that, dude,
exactly.
Says something.
That says something, right? Like,
dude, I mean, Morgan told us that she had a 10-inch dick at it cut off, dude. She got 3 days worth of electrolysis, 8-hour shifts. They had to do 3 different times where they shock every pore in your face so you don't grow facial hair. Said the face would be swollen, looked like like hit by a bus, like ridiculous, man. Wow. So yeah, when you go through those kind of sacrifices, I don't want to hear anybody's fucking opinion. Like, yo,
hold up though.
Look what they were willing to do.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that she had her Johnson cut the fuck off.
No,
dude, I'm telling you right now, I can't. I don't think I believe in
anything that much.
Oh my. Hey man, look, I have friends that have vasectomies, and I'm like, what are you, crazy? And I'm like, what are you? They're like, oh, it's not a big deal. They make a little incision, they do a little snip, and I go, ugh. I'm like, oh my God. Right? I'm like, the idea of someone bringing anything metal and sharp close to that area of my body makes me want to pass out and throw up and pass out. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's like you have to take into account the what's the word I'm looking for? The measures or the lengths or that people are willing to go through to have their bodies, the sacrifices. And I don't even know if they would call it sacrifices as much as it was just like, this is what I need to do so that the outside represents how I feel on the inside, which you can never account for how someone feels on the inside. That's why the Chappelle thing and the J.K. Rowling thing, it doesn't take into account the mental and emotional. Right. So, but in this case with the swimmer, I just think that, just based on sheer biology and having competed as a man for a long time in that category.
And swimming kind of, and definitely I think has an effect on it because it's like upper body is totally different between male and female.
And men traditionally have longer arms, but you can't do anything about that. But what you can do is you can make sure that they have the same muscle mass, same estrogen levels, same testosterone.
Right now, if there's a certain level you have to hit, and then you qualify, I guess that could make sense. I don't know what that level's supposed to be, but I mean, she's been on it for 2 years.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's long enough.
How long that takes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Puberty is,
well, hold up though. But there are women that we've seen like on the women's track team that have naturally.
That was another.
But there are women on the women's track team that have naturally high levels of testosterone, right? That were born as women, but just biologically.
Yeah, and some are born with more than others. True.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be a gray area. It's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. I think they get their work cut out for them.
I mean, it's got to suck to be her, though, because she's also like on that team and getting, those are your teammates. So you're going to feel kind of ostracized.
Yeah. Or you just keep being number one in the world and just kicking ass and being like, whatever.
Yeah, figure it out. Just let me know, but I'm going to keep kicking ass.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep kicking ass. I went from 462 as a man to number one as a woman. Whatever. I'm number one in the world, bitch. Exactly. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. We keep an eye on it and see what goes on. But right now, like they said, they're gonna be testing for testosterone levels. But I do not believe in separate but equal. Because what I said to my friend was, I was like, so
are you not trying to bring that back?
Yeah, I'm like, so what's next? We're gonna go back to black. It's not, instead of color, they'll be like, these are the black people bathrooms, and these are the white people bathrooms, and this is the transgender. These are the white transgender bathrooms and the black transgender bathroom. Oh, and while we're at it, here are the Asian bathrooms and the Latin bathrooms, and then here's the Pan-Pacific Asian bathrooms, and here's the Australian bathrooms and the Finland bathrooms and the Swedish. It's like, yo, get the hell out of here, man. How about we just have bathroom, just you can have men's and women's.
A piss in a hole.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, no separate but equal, bro. We've already been there, done that. Let's not turn back the hands of time. So all right, so now
we gotta get our Super Bowl prediction. We were gonna have I tried to get a guest this week, but we tried to get Shang Wang, and he told me he's taking a break from podcasts. He's gonna do my show again if you guys want to see him live in April.
Nice. Okay. Well, he's suffering from podcast fatigue at this point.
Yeah, which I could see is a thing. Everybody's got one.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he's been doing well. He was just up in my old stomping grounds of Edmonton, Canada.
Oh, nice.
He's doing the A room up there, but cold as shit up there in January.
Do you want to explain what the A room is?
A room is where usually the room that pays more, and you got
the bigger names,
bigger credits to headline. But I mean, well,
hold up though. But
he's been writing it. He's a writer. He was a writer on an ABC show, and then he was open
fresh off the boat, right?
Wong a lot. Yeah, fresh off the boat.
So he's opening for Ali Wong. Shang is extremely funny. Opening for Ali Wong, and then writing for network television for however many seasons.
He said Ali helped him get that job.
Oh yeah, I know, dude. Look, I mean, we both know Ali Wong. It's been a while since I talked to her, since she's transitioned to all world status. It would be awesome if we got her on here, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I give Ali props and credit for her dang, I can't even think of the words today, but just reaching back and bringing friends with her. Like, she could have easily gone down to LA and picked up someone, but she brought Shang. And I mean, she didn't just bring Shang. She got Shang opening for her,
right.
And she also got him a job on the show as a writer, which, think about that. We both know what writers make. Getting on the show as a writer for several seasons and then getting into the Writers Union, Writers Guild, and now you have that experience. Like, she literally set this dude up for life in a certain way.
Well, I mean, it's contractual work, so it
is, but it was on for several seasons. It's gonna end up in syndication at some point, right?
But,
somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm just saying is that the opportunity that was given to him from her
was good, and then he gets to go on the road with her, which is
exactly.
Kamiya got to do some work with her too.
Exactly. Cool. It's like, it's credibility, right? It gives you more credibility, therefore you get more work, right? I think the same thing with Kamal taking, getting his first show totally biased, and the dude took Nato Green, Janine Brito.
Oh, he took a lot. He took
Kevin
almost
Avery,
too many.
Kevin Avery. He also called up an old friend, Kevin Carioca, who was already a writer.
That's right.
But I give him props for bringing people, his friends, with him. Maybe some of them were a little green, and maybe a little early to bring them along at that point in time.
Some didn't come back the next season.
Well, yeah, it's hard to bring people on to write a TV show when they've never written a TV show, right?
Right.
So, so sometimes.
Well, yeah, it's a totally different game.
Yeah.
So you watching football, Reg?
I am. I'm
gonna watch last weekend.
I did.
Because the weekend before was amazing when the Bills and Chiefs game went down to 13 seconds. Mahomes won. So there's no way I thought the Bengals would win again. And I'm not a fan of the Bengals because, they're in Ohio, but they're in the Cleveland Browns division. It's like, you either Browns or Bengals. You're not both.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
You see, hold up. Weren't we just talking about this?
I got loyalty. The Browns.
No. Hold up. Before you go on. Weren't we just talking about loyalty, about whole countries getting behind a team?
Right.
You got two teams in your state. You got two teams in your state.
But they saved the
get behind the
division.
other team.
Now, if it was different conference, maybe. But they the Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens, and Bengals all in the same division for years, since like the 60s, dude. I mean, the Ravens are newer, but the Ravens stole our team. Anyway, point is,
I can't believe
I didn't dig this team. Because look, this is what pisses me off too, is it should have been the Browns. Okay. The Browns beat the Bengals twice this year. The last time we played them, or the first time we played them, we blew them out. Had the 90-yard pick 6 for a touchdown, threw a bomb on them, blew them out. And then after that game, the Browns just started slipping and the Bengals started rising. And here's another thing. I think they pulled the Raiders first. That's an easy pull when they played. Then they played the Titans, which you rather play the Titans than either the Chiefs or the Bills.
Look at you.
And then they get the Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes choked. He choked hard, dude. They were up 21-3.
Okay.
They have the ball with like 5 seconds left at the end of half. They should just kick the field goal. Then you'll be up like another score on them, right? 3 points. Mahomes tells the coach, no, I'm going to throw it in the end zone one more time, which, okay, if you step back and throw it real quick under 5 seconds, this dude steps back, takes too much time, throws it like at the line of scrimmage to Tyreek Hill, not in the end zone. So if Tyreek Hill gets tackled, clock eats up, and that's the end of the half. That's exactly what happened. So he lost that opportunity to get those 3 points.
Yeah.
And ever since that moment, He like it froze him. And then the rest of the second half, dude couldn't do shit, and nobody could do anything. And they ended up losing that game. And then even at the end, he almost cost them because he took a sack. So they made the field goal like another 15 yards longer. The guy makes the field goal. They tie it. He wins the coin toss. And again, doesn't come up in overtime this time and threw the pick. It just, I don't know what happened, but that whole second half, it was not the Mahomes that we saw the first 6 quarters.
Okay.
In the last week.
So what I'm hearing is you're not giving credit to the Bengals at all, right? You're give them
credit. They were good, but
hey man,
when you're the Chiefs and you're up 21-3, the Chiefs lost that game more than the Bengals won it.
Well, I will say this. And the problem is, and most people forget this, is that the other team has professional athletes too, right? And those guys have egos as well, right? So instead of taking the smart play and kicking the field goal, he was being egotistical, right? Right. He was basically saying, I think I can score against these guys, and he didn't. I'm telling you right now, when they ran into the half, into the locker room, it changed everything. The Bengals ran into the half and they go, they don't respect us. Right. They don't respect us. They don't believe that we can stop them. They think they got this game won. The fact that they didn't take the field goal, because that's just like going, it's like, oh, we got 4th and 1, 4th and 2. We'll go for it. We can get this, right? You're like, oh, really? Right. Really? This is what it is?
And it showed, like, as the Bengals kept creeping, you're like, man, you wish you had those 3 points now. And it wouldn't have been a tie at the end. It wouldn't have had to do it.
Dude, that chip on their shoulder turned into a friggin' boulder. Yeah. And it turned into 2 boulders on their shoulders, right? So what he learned a valuable lesson, man. It's like, keep your ego in check, do the smart thing, right? Don't do what you want to do, but do what you're supposed to do or what you should do, right? It's the same thing in the Super Bowl with Seattle against the Patriots. Everybody in the building knows that the ball is going to Marshawn Lynch to run it into the end zone, and they're like, nah, we're gonna throw it, because everyone thinks it's going to Marshawn.
New England, right? Seattle, yeah.
Exactly. New England, Seattle. It's like everyone in the whole stadium was like, yo, this game's over. They're gonna give it to Marshawn. He's gonna run into the end zone. The Patriots knew it, everybody knew it, except for Pete Carroll, who was like, nah, everybody thinking that we're gonna do something different.
Yeah, Malcolm Butler, baby.
Exactly. And that dude had just got picked up. So so yeah, man, it was the Chiefs got what they deserved based on this and on the
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of over the Chiefs too. I'm over it, but it was just like, it was a surprise. But like, you never know, any given Sunday. Sunday. The next game, the Niners Rams. There's another one, like, I never believe in Jimmy G. Like, he's definitely like one of the weaker quarterbacks in the playoffs. And like, that's the thing. As good as their defense is, and their special teams. Yeah, their special teams.
The defense and special teams. The defense and the special teams won the previous game for them.
I won my fantasy league because of Deebo Samuel. Yeah, that was surprising when they took out the Packers. But you're right, special teams is a part of the game. Special teams
and defense. Yep.
And I
like Deebo too.
Yeah, he's great. But the Rams, Matthew Stafford was with the Lions for years, losing every year on this loser team. And first year he gets to leave and goes to a quality team. And it's, this could be his. I'm kind of rooting for Matthew Stafford. I like to see,
okay. So are you?
The Rams are the better team, I feel. And, I do have a little bias against the Bengals, but I do think.
I can't believe you for that.
Here's the thing. Here's another thing with the Bengals. They got by the Titans. The Titans, again, had the ball at the very end of that game. They could have drove and got a field goal or a touchdown, and Ryan Tannehill threw an interception. It's just like they're beating themselves. But in that game, he was sacked 9 times. Now the Chiefs line, they're not as good as the Titans. The Chiefs had Chris Jones. He's great, but they only could barely get to him. The Rams, they got Von Miller and Aaron Donald. They have one of the best. And I think Aaron Donald, he's been there. He's lost.
Oh, who did he go there with? Because he was adamant about like
they went against the Patriots. It was a boring game. They lost 10-3. He was with the Rams, and they lost. Remember, Jared Goff took them one year, the first year of the Rams.
Right.
And they just got 10-3. Nothing happened, or whatever. And but I think them being there once now, they know. And OBJ, he's doing great. I've seen him.
Hey man.
He's catching balls, but I always say is people bust my balls about it, and I'm like, yo, OBJ was a number 1 target in Cleveland. He goes to LA, he's the number 2 target because of Cooper Kupp. And Cooper Kupp is amazing. So the best players on defense are focused on Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? So
and Cooper Kupp came through. He caught some big time.
He came
catches.
up huge.
He came up huge.
He came
but
up
hold up,
in
though.
both games against the Bucks too.
But hold up though. Let's just be honest, man. The 49ers is as bad as Jimmy G is, right? The 49ers defensively had ample opportunity, same as the Rams. I felt like everybody was nervous, all the amount of balls being dropped. But let's just be honest. The one play that Stafford threw deep and he threw it way short, and the defensive guy is running backwards and the ball hits him in the chest.
That would have been, you're right. That would have been the icing on the cake.
Dude, he's been catching that. He's been catching that pass since he started playing Pee Wee League. Yeah. Right. He catches that ball. They're in the Super Bowl. Right. It's a turnover.
A heartbreaker, man.
That's a heartbreaker. They keep the ball. They go down. They move the ball down the field. They kill the clock. The whole thing. Game's over. 49ers in the Super Bowl. You miss it. They come down. They get another opportunity. They go to OBJ to the sideline, and then he gets a head-to-head contact. So then 35 yards turns into 30 yards turn into 45 yards because a 15-yard penalty. It was like they gave it away. And let's be honest. Now look, I give
you just saying, like, you're not giving credit to the Rams. You gave it away.
No, I'm not. It's not that I'm not giving credit to the Rams, but these were obvious. These were obvious plays, right? Yeah. Where it's like, yo, the ball hit you in the chest, bro. You got to catch that, right?
We used to joke. We used to always go, when you throw a ball and the guy drops it, and then you're like, oh, my bad, dude. I hit you in the hands.
Exactly. And then the other play was like, yo, man, look, you already just missed an interception, right? You can't get the penalty, especially not a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't get a 15-yard penalty. You in essence, you put them in field goal position immediately, right? And you give them that much closer to the goal line. So now, okay, what are you going to do? And that's what happened. And let's be honest, look, at the end, Jimmy G, I mean, throwing the ball away, whatever. But those were the worst, like, what do they call them? In basketball, they call possession games. But in football, they're called the 2-minute drill, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah. Those were the worst 3 plays I've seen. The first one, I was like, are you guys just testing this out? Like, are you just trying to see what's up? Right? Like, well, we got 4 chances. So we'll just, let's just see if this one works. The first one was terrible. By the time it got to the third play, I was like, after the second play, I was like, oh, this game's over. I was like, because in that time period, in those situations, if it's Tom Brady, if it's Aaron Rodgers, if it's Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, if it's Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, or anybody else you could think of, if it's
Baker Mayfield,
yeah, right. If it's Russell Wilson, that first play would have been a first down, right?
Right. That's so important.
Yeah, that's so important. Like moving the ball immediately.
I mean, they're already talking about trading him. The plan was to trade him anyway. They drafted a guy.
Yeah, they got Trey Lance sitting in the wings.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But all right, so what's your prediction then, Reg? So if I had to give a score, let me see.
Score. Okay, he's going to hardcore score.
I'm going to go Rams 24-21.
Rams 24-21. Okay. I'm going to say I want the Rams to win.
Really? How come?
Yeah, I do. Just because I think that I think it'd be a very compelling and interesting story with OBJ, right? The idea of trying to force his way out of
runner Reg.
No, I'm just saying forcing his way out of Cleveland and basically trying to express that he felt like he wasn't with a quarterback that could get the job done, right? He makes it to a team. They end up in the Super Bowl.
He wasn't with a team that has many receiving options, let's be honest, but go on.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I think just the storyline. And he's playing against a team from the state that he just left, right? I think it's interesting that there's an Ohio team in the Super Bowl. He just left an Ohio team because he felt like
Southern Ohio, they're more conservative guys. That's where Jerry Springer's from.
It's a state.
And my buddy's a big fan, and he lives in Kentucky, so that's the kind of Ohio Cincinnati is. But it's
the same state, right? So I'm just saying, I think the storyline surrounding it, and also the guy Donaldson, I really enjoyed watching him last game and just kind of seeing
Aaron Donald, yeah,
Aaron Donald,
fast.
Yeah, and I enjoyed watching him, and I enjoyed his passion and how badly he wants it, right? Like on the sidelines, like, yo, man, this is it. This is the game to go. He's like, I'm trying to get that ring, right?
Yeah, he's
like
badass.
He's a badass. So based on those two guys, I'm kind of like, I think it'd be kind of cool for the Rams to win it. But there's a little part of me inside that feels like the Bengals might pull it out.
I mean, the Bengals have never done it. It was the first time in history.
So what I'm going to say is this, because their quarterback, this young dude, the second year player at LSU with his cigars, who's a bit cocky. The motherfucker's cocky.
Bit cocky. I like to see you get knocked down. He's never beaten the Browns. He's played them 3 times. He's never beat them.
He's a little cocky, and I think it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. But what I'm gonna say is this: based on how the playoffs have played out and how much field goals have come into play. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a playoff where
Bengals have a great field goal kicker.
So I don't think I've ever seen the playoffs come down to so many games decided by a field goal. Right. In overtime and regulation, it's like all the playoff games have been decided by a field goal. So I like the idea of 21-24, but I'm going to say I want the Rams, but I think the Bengals are going to pull it out. I think it's going to be 24-21 Bengals.
Oh, you're going to same score, but opposite teams. Yeah, all right. We'll see what happens.
And plus that makes it fun for the podcast too, right?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then there should be there should be a bet. Like someone's got to do something embarrassing next week when they lose.
Have you ever known me to do anything embarrassing?
Oh, come on, Rich. How much do you believe in this prediction of yours?
I don't do embarrassing, boy. Except for Liv. My life enough is embarrassing.
What should no wager then?
What's the wager? What do you want to do? What's the wager?
I don't know.
Let's see what you come up with.
I got nothing right now. You should have people message. There you go. Let's see if anyone will message. That'll be a test to see if the audience listens or they just download. Or if they just listen to the beginning or they listen to the end. So if anybody gives us any wagers, what if someone gives us one thing, like something disgusting, like you gotta drink a cup of pee, and then like that's the only suggestion we get.
Dude, we are not about to compromise our integrity for a listener. No, that's not gonna happen. But so leave a comment. Wager, if you have a wager for us, if Reggie wins, Sal has to do. And if Sal wins,
they
Reggie
could do on the podcast. Maybe something you eat but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Close us out. I have to go potty.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We covered a lot of different things, and I hope you enjoyed our pastor.
Pastor Bama, thank you.
Pastor Bama at the top of the show. We love doing this, and we hope you enjoy it. We're here every week. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends, and listen, watch Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
The hell? I'm not DJ Real.
No. He said that. He said, what the fuck? I'm not Nick. I'm not DJ Real. God, I hate this. Everyone keeps calling me that guy. So, all right, man. Hey, guys, thanks for listening. That's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele, and this is Spitballin.
Yeah.
Peace.